Hi, my name is Nickerson, and I'm coming to you again from the hillside overlooking our property in Clearwater County, Idaho, outside of Orofino. And this video is in my series that dispelling the myths and exposing the fraud regarding our foreclosure case. This video is going to talk about character. And so, when you come into a courtroom, you have two different sides. So I'm just going to give you I'm just going to read you a couple documents about my opponent in this courtroom, and that's PHH Mortgage Services. So this is a news release from the Department of Finance, Idaho Department of Finance. It was dated January 3rd, 2018. It is posted on our website. It is also accessible from the Idaho website. And here's what it says. Department of Finance enters into settlement agreement with PHH Mortgage Corp. The Idaho Department of Finance announced today that it has joined financial regulators from 46 other states in entering into a settlement agreement with PHH Mortgage Corp. The settlement will assist borrowers harmed by PHH during 2009 through 2012 as a result of severe operational deficiencies in mortgage servicing identified during a multi-state examination. PHH started foreclosure on my property in 2010. So this is the time period in which this time period covers the foreclosure process that we have gone through. The settlement provides $31 million in cash payments. Well, I'm just going to ignore that part. The important part of this is this quote. It says, "This settlement demonstrates a core responsibility of state regulators to protect consumers from unlawful business practices," said Gavin G., Director of the Idaho Department of Finance. "With this settlement, we are saying that states will not tolerate mortgage servicers that harm consumers by failing to process mortgage payments according to the law. As a part of this settlement, states are requiring corrective actions so that PHH's future mortgage servicing activities ensure timely and accurate processing of loan payments." That is what the Department of Finance says about my opponent, PHH Mortgage Services. Further, in this settlement agreement, there's 5 things that these 46 state regulators found wrong with PHH Mortgage Services actions. It says, "Whereas reports of examination and related inquiries and investigations by state mortgage regulators identified practices that may otherwise violate the laws and regulations of the participating states and related federal law, including, but not limited to, the allegations and releases that are the basis of this agreement, which specifically include, number 1, lack of controls related to document execution." Number 1, lack of controls related to document execution, including unauthorized execution, inconsistent signatures, faulty assignment, improper certification and notarization, and other related practices affecting the integrity of documents relied upon in the foreclosure process. Deficiencies in servicing, foreclosure, loan modification, and other loss mitigation processes. Deficiencies related to internal controls, including inadequate staffing levels and lack of independence. Number 4, deficiencies in control and oversight of third-party providers, particularly local foreclosure counsel. And 5, deficiencies in document maintenance processes, including but not limited to failure to retain required documents and failure to produce documents requested in tandem with the examinations. So imagine that. I was thinking about this and a bank regulator coming up to another bank and saying, "Give me your documentation," and the other bank saying, "I'm not going to give it to you," or "I lost it," or "I can't produce it." The only thing I think of, an example, because I'm not another bank, so that wouldn't be something I would experience, but it just brought to mind the movie It's a Wonderful Life. And here you have the bank regulator going to examine George Bailey's books, and he's missing $8,000. Well, if you know the movie, you know that the $8,000 was kept by the other bank, the guy in charge of the other bank, and they're trying to get George Bailey. And all his friends rally around him and rescue him. But you know what? the bank regulator went to the bank, George Bailey's bank. By the way, he was a building and loan institution. And they went to him and they found that he was missing $8,000. Well, the guy that was in charge of the other bank issued a warrant for his arrest. Imagine that. So bank regulators and bankers lose documents, don't produce documents. Really, there should be warrants for their arrests. And this is the kind of character that my opponent has. And it's not me stating it, it's 46 states, well, Idaho and 46 other states, regulators are stating this. Again, this is posted online. Now I'd like to just take a brief moment to talk about our character. You know, we are Christians, and our character is a very precious thing to us. We are honest, forthright people. And I want to specifically talk about my wife, because in the last couple years, I've heard people describe my wife as an angel, describe my wife as a warrior for God. And yes, she has a strong personality. She is a strong woman, and I love that in her. And she, as being married to her for 32 years, the best way I can describe her and her personality is that she is the one person on this earth that is the most like Christ that I've ever met. She loves unconditionally. She gives without any thought of getting anything in return. And so I just wanted to give that testimony to all our supporters out there and everyone that has met her, because they've experienced those things themselves. Again, in the mortgage industry, it happened to us, and it can happen to you.